In a dramatic escalation of global financial tensions, former President Trump has issued what many experts are calling the economic ultimatum of the century to BRICS nations, threatening devastating consequences for any attempt to challenge the US dollar's supremacy. Let me break this down for you folks. Trump's message was crystal clear. Any BRICS nation daring to support a rival currency will face crushing 100% tariffs, effectively cutting them off from the world's largest consumer market. There is absolutely no chance, Trump declared, that BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade. Those who try can say goodbye to America. But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite these threats, Brazil, currently leading the BRICS alliance, isn't backing down. They're pushing forward with plans to reduce dollar dependency, setting up what financial analysts are calling the biggest economic showdown since the Cold War. The former president's social media statements have only intensified the situation. BRICS countries attempting to undermine the dollar will not be tolerated, Trump warned, demanding explicit pledges from these nations to maintain dollar supremacy. The consequences for defiance? Swift and devastating economic isolation, according to his statement. This confrontation highlights a growing divide in global finance. While Washington flexes its monetary muscle, BRICS nations, particularly Brazil, are actively working to create alternative payment systems. The stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about the potential restructuring of the entire global financial system. For decades, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency, giving America unprecedented economic power. Now, for the first time since World War II, that position faces a serious challenge. Financial experts suggest this could be the beginning of a new economic era, with potentially far-reaching consequences for American financial dominance. The question now is, will BRICS nations bow to this pressure, or are we witnessing the first cracks in the dollar's global supremacy? Here's a 1857-character news story based on the input. Good evening, viewers. Tonight's top story focuses on a potential financial revolution that could reshape the global monetary system as we know it. Brazil is leading a bold initiative that directly challenges the US dollar's long-standing dominance in international trade. In a development that's turning heads in Washington, Brazil's innovative financial reforms, powered by cutting-edge blockchain technology and modern payment systems, are creating waves across global markets. The South American giant isn't just talking about change, they're actively demonstrating it. Since 2020, Brazil's domestic PIX payment system has been nothing short of revolutionary, effectively replacing traditional payment methods like cash and credit cards. But here's where it gets interesting. Brazil is now taking the success to the international stage. In what many experts are calling a game-changing move, Brazil is aggressively pushing forward with the SML payment system. This system enables direct settlements in Brazilian reais with neighboring countries including Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, completely bypassing the US dollar as an intermediary currency. While the current SML system takes several days to process payments, Brazil's ambitious plans to integrate instant payment technology could soon make these transactions faster, more secure, and significantly more cost-effective than dollar-based alternatives. As we approach the upcoming BRICS summit in July, Brazil is preparing to unveil even more ambitious proposals. The BRICS alliance, which continues to expand its influence, has already welcomed new members including Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. This expanding coalition of nations, collectively seeking alternatives to dollar dependency, represents a significant shift in global financial power dynamics. The implications for American economic influence could be far-reaching, potentially marking the beginning of a new era in international finance. Back to you in the studio. Here's a carefully structured 1857-character news piece based on your input. In a significant shift that's reshaping the global financial landscape, major emerging economies are increasingly challenging the long-standing dominance of the US dollar. This resistance signals what many experts consider a historic transformation in international finance. The dollar's supremacy wasn't accidental. Following World War II, the 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement established the dollar as the cornerstone of global trade, creating a system where the US currency was pegged to gold, while other currencies were tied to the dollar. This arrangement not only helped stabilize the post-war world, but secured America's financial dominance for generations. However, this seemingly unshakable system has faced various challenges. In 1971, President Nixon made the landmark decision to suspend the dollar's gold convertibility, effectively ending the Bretton Woods system. Though the dollar maintained its position, this marked a crucial transition to floating exchange rates. The 1970s brought another boost to dollar dominance through the petrodollar system, requiring all oil transactions to be conducted in U.S. dollars. This arrangement ensured consistent global demand for American currency, regardless of economic conditions. Today, former President Trump's recent warnings to BRICS nations highlight growing concerns about the dollar's future. These emerging economies are actively developing alternative payment systems that could circumvent dollar transactions. Financial experts warn that success in these efforts could have severe consequences for the United States, potentially leading to dramatic drops in U.S. Treasury demand, significant increases in borrowing costs, reduced American influence over global financial markets, weakening of U.S. economic sanctions power. As BRICS nations push forward with their de-dollarization agenda, the global financial system appears poised for its most significant transformation since the end of Bretton Woods. This shift could fundamentally alter the economic landscape that has defined international trade for over 7 decades. In a significant shift that threatens America's economic supremacy, BRICS nations are accelerating their move away from the U.S. dollar, potentially marking the end of an era in global finance. Our analysis reveals this isn't just about economics. It's about reshaping the international order. Breaking news: China and Brazil, two economic powerhouses within BRICS, have launched direct currency trading, completely sidestepping the U.S. dollar. This bold move isn't just symbolic, it's a direct challenge to America's financial dominance that could reshape global commerce. In what might be the most significant development of 2023, Iran and Russia have created their own financial highway, separate from Western systems. They've connected their banking networks, accepting each other's currencies, and effectively created a parallel financial universe that operates independently of Western control. India, traditionally cautious in global finance, has jumped into the fray. In a groundbreaking agreement with Russia, they're now conducting massive energy trades using rupees and rubles instead of dollars. The implications are profound. We're witnessing what could be the beginning of the end of dollar dominance. The question isn't whether this shift will happen, it's when and how America will respond to this existential threat to its economic power. For decades, the dollar has been the world's reserve currency, giving the United States unprecedented control over global finance. But as BRICS nations build alternative payment systems and trade routes, that control is slipping away. The impact on American economic power could be seismic, potentially reducing our ability to leverage financial sanctions and influence global markets. These developments suggest we're entering a new era of multipolar financial power, where the dollar's throne is no longer secure. As these alternative systems gain traction, the United States faces its greatest economic challenge since the Bretton Woods Agreement. In a dramatic shift reshaping global finance, major emerging economies are accelerating their move away from the U.S. dollar, threatening America's economic dominance. Our senior financial correspondent brings you this report. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are orchestrating what might be the biggest challenge to American financial power since Bretton Woods. South Africa has begun settling more transactions with China in yuan, creating ripples across Africa. What's turning heads in Washington is the launch of BRICS Pay. This sophisticated blockchain-based platform could eventually replace SWIFT, the backbone of international banking. Think of it as a financial highway bypassing the dollar, allowing nations to trade directly in local currencies. These countries are amassing gold reserves at an unprecedented rate. By mid-2025, they're projected to accumulate over 600 tons of gold, more than many European nations hold. This isn't just about building wealth, it's about creating a financial fortress against Western economic pressure. Former President Trump warned these nations about consequences, threatening massive tariffs on countries attempting to sideline the dollar. Brazil has already taken bold steps, establishing direct trading systems with China that exclude the dollar. The implications for American consumers could be significant. If the dollar loses its status as the world's reserve currency, everything from gas prices to grocery bills could be affected. Some analysts call this the beginning of a new economic Cold War, with financial technology as the battlefield. As we follow this story, one thing is clear. The world's financial landscape is undergoing its most significant transformation in decades, and America's economic supremacy faces its greatest challenge yet. Breaking news on the global financial battleground: where a dramatic power struggle is unfolding that could reshape our economic future. I'm bringing you the latest developments in what experts are calling the most significant challenge to American financial dominance since World War II. Former President Trump has just issued a stark warning to BRICS nations, threatening consequences for any attempts to undermine the US dollar. In a forceful statement, Trump declared that countries seeking to create alternative currencies will face tariffs and market exclusion. Behind the headlines, major global powers are making moves to break free from dollar dependency. China and Brazil have struck an agreement to conduct trade in their own currencies, bypassing the US dollar. This isn't just about money, it's about global power and influence. Central banks worldwide are quietly diversifying their reserves, moving away from dollars, and increasingly turning to gold and alternative currencies. This shift represents a seismic change in global financial architecture. Russia and China are spearheading this financial rebellion, creating new payment systems and trade mechanisms that operate independently of US control. They're building a parallel financial universe that Washington can't control or sanction. The implications for American consumers and investors could be profound. If the dollar's global dominance weakens, we could see significant changes in everything from gas prices to retirement accounts. Financial experts are focused on the BRICS alliance's growing influence. These emerging markets now represent a formidable economic bloc capable of challenging Western financial hegemony. We're witnessing a historic moment in global economics. The question isn't if change is coming, but how dramatic it will be and whether America can maintain its financial supremacy in an increasingly multipolar world. Stay with us as we continue to follow this developing story that could fundamentally alter the economic landscape for generations to come. Breaking news on the economic front, as former President Trump issues warnings about American financial dominance. In a significant development reshaping global economics, Trump emphasizes that the United States won't tolerate nations abandoning the US dollar in international trade. Our economy's strength depends on maintaining the dollar's position, Trump stated, highlighting tensions between American interests and BRICS nations' push for independence. His comments come as Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa develop alternative payment systems. The BRICS coalition, representing nearly half of the world's population, is creating their own financial infrastructure. Their plans include a new currency that would challenge the dollar's status as the primary reserve currency. This has triggered concerns in Washington, with Trump promising economic consequences for countries joining the BRICS initiative. We're talking about massive tariffs and trade restrictions, he warned, emphasizing America's stance. However, many nations view the BRICS alternative as an escape from dollar dependency. The new system promises more balanced international trade relations, particularly for emerging economies. Financial experts suggest this marks a historic shift in global economic power. We're witnessing a fundamental reorganization of international finance, says Dr. Marcus Henderson, senior economist at Global Financial Institute. The dollar's dominance faces its most serious challenge yet. The development of alternative payment systems represents more than financial innovation. It signals a movement toward a multipolar economic world. This transition could reshape international trade patterns and alter America's global economic influence. As tensions escalate, markets watch how this financial chess game unfolds. The outcome could determine global trade relations and economic power for decades to come.